welcome to our Plugs Community Connection. I am your host, DJ Kitty Cat, with my sister co-host, Miss Morningstar on WKRA 92.7 FM The Change. If you're looking for the best in news, current events, community outreach programs, and shopping connections, you've come to the right place. We've got a great mix of content and community connections lined up for you this evening, along with special guest interviews. So, grab your favorite drink of choice, turn up the volume, and let's get into it.
Good morning, WKRA 92.7 The Change. It is your morning host, DJ Kitty, here with my co-host, my sister, Miss Morningstar from Our Plugs, the Community Connection. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I hope everyone slept very well and you're ready to come on in and get this news that you can use. Today is a beautiful day, even though it may be raining in some parts of the nation. It may be hot, and that's not allegedly in some parts of the nation. Come on in, drink your coffee, get your 16 ounces of water to get the blood flowing, get you some breakfast, maybe some eggs, maybe a croissant, something to that nature, something good to put on your stomach and get your day started. I am happy to be here. It's a blessed day to wake up and be with family and friends and the opportunity to make memories. At the end of the day, that's all we have, our memories.
Amen.
Yes, and we're going to start with our sister. I'm going to say good morning to you first. Good morning, sister. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy hump day.
Hump
Y'all
day.
know hump day, Friday, always my favorite times of the week. So happy Wednesday hump day.
Yes. How you feeling today?
Great.
That's
Great.
good.
Feeling pretty good. Can't complain.
Can't complain.
Won't even do it.
We're gonna start with some positive affirmations this morning.
Yes.
And we're gonna get those affirmations from our affirmation queen, Mrs. Morningstar.
Yes. So guys, I wanted to read. I came across these affirmations and I thought these were pretty cool. They're daily affirmations. So June 25th, today, it's 2025. I like how they break it down. So what they do is they give you a paragraph and then they break down the affirmation. So I'm going to read it as such.
Okay.
Today I choose hope. Even when the path is uncertain, I trust that better days are coming. Each moment is a chance to move forward with faith in what's possible. I am stronger than my doubts and brighter than my fears. I believe in the light ahead, even if I can't see it yet.
Amen.
So, a breakdown of that affirmation is a quick, guide to anchoring us in the resilience and courage. So it says, 1, today I choose hope. 2, even when the path is uncertain, I trust that better days are coming. 3, each moment is a chance to move forward with faith. That's faith, what's possible.
Yes.
4, I am stronger than my doubts and brighter than my fears. And 5, believe in the light ahead, even if you can't see it. So the closing thoughts behind this is letting hope lead the way with today's affirmations will help you be grounded yourself, and is a good reminder to us that even in uncertainty, we have the strength and to believe in brighter days and take each moment as a step towards healing.
Amen. I know there are a lot of people that need to hear that today. Me, myself, personally, I definitely need to hear it. And I receive it. I appreciate you taking the time to give us some positive affirmations. God knows we need them. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in this nation. There's a lot going on with people personally. And sometimes you just need to hear something positive to get you through.
Yeah.
And so I appreciate you sharing that with not just
Anytime,
but
guys. We're human, so
we
we
are
have
human.
to we cannot disregard us being human. So
Yeah.
those are things we can latch on to and try to push us through those hard times because we all go through them.
We are, unfortunately. And, some things you can't avoid, but you just have to learn how to get through them.
That's right.
So let's have a talk about getting through this weather. Are you done with the affirmations?
I am. Yeah, that was
Right.
it.
Let's talk about getting through this weather. Is there an affirmation for being hot as hell? And
That's it. That's the affirmation. That's it.
it's
That's
hot.
all. It's hot as hell.
It's hot as hell. We are 12.
That's it.
Today
That's
we are
all.
13 steps into hell. Yesterday we were 12.
Drink your
13
water.
steps. Yes. Drink your water. Drink plenty of water. It's what gets you through. And add a little lemon, maybe some mint, some cucumber, some ice. It's very refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
So Holly Springs, you got a high of 96, a low of 73. Feels like temperatures 104 degrees. Out.
Woo! Holly Springs.
Yeah, hot Holly. There's a 15% chance of rain. Winds are about 5 miles per hour coming out of the south. It's going to be partly cloudy skies today. Evening thunderstorms. Mosquito risk is severe. They are out there enjoying this water.
Eaters.
Get you some repellent. That's what I can tell you. We've got grass pollen is high, tree pollen is medium, and ragweed is moderate. Air quality is good. Humidity in the morning is at 63%, and in the evening, 88%. Hot and muggy. Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all are like racing towards hell. High of 96, a low of 76. Feels like temperature is 105. That's 105 steps to hell. You've got about a 24% chance of rain. And that means that in the city, only 24% of the city will be actually hit with rain. It doesn't mean only 24%. We may or may not get rain. Yeah, you're going to get it, but only 24% of the city will get it. Winds are about 5 miles per hour, so hot and muggy coming out of the south. Partly cloudy skies, straight thunderstorms throughout the day. Mosquito risk is severe. Humidity is at 62% in the morning and 80% in the evening, muggy. Grass pollen is high, tree pollen is low, and ragweed is medium. Air quality is moderate. Hot and muggy, a little sticky. Maybe 2 or 3 showers today. Sounds about right. Come on, hot Houston, come on through. Now it's been raining, and today it's going to rain quite a bit in Houston. We've got a high of 86. I can live with that. A low of 77. Feels like temperature will be 93. That's still too hot. We've got a 44% chance of rain. Well, I'm not going to say 44% because some people are saying 70%. And when I checked this yesterday evening, it was 44%. So I'm going to say it's probably going to rain. How about that? Scattered thunderstorms in the morning, cloudy skies all throughout the day. Winds are out of the east, southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. So at least it's going to be a little breezy. Humidity is 75%, which is high. And that's in the morning. In the evening, it will be 84%, very high, muggy, sticky. Mosquito.
She'll be back, guys. She must have got, you know what? It seemed like every time she in the middle of just starting out, somebody rings her phone. So y'all make sure y'all put on that mosquito repellent. Even our folks in Houston, Texas, and if you in Mississippi and in Tennessee, be careful of the skeeters because with water, they are out and about. DJ Kitty will be back in just a second. I think she was pretty much wrapping it up. So we're going to be moving forward with some news. And while we're waiting on her, I see her popping up now.
I'm sorry about that. Of course, I got a phone call. You know, I don't know. I don't. My phone won't ring all day, but the minute I get on the, I get to doing something, the phone wants to ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kept them
Mosquito
busy talking about them skeeters. Make sure they
baby.
use that repellent to cover
Please
up.
do. Grass and ragweed pollen it's low. Thank goodness. So maybe we can breathe, and air quality is good.
Okay.
So that's your weather for the day. Just know that throughout the nation, it is still hot.
It's a heat wave.
We've stepped into about 24 days of hell. Today's 25. Today's the 25th.
I talked to my daughter. She's visiting family back in Ohio, and she called me and she said, I think it was early in the morning. She said it's 82, and that's hot for Cleveland. So I think it got up to like 95 today there.
Well, T Wiz in the YouTube
St.
chat.
Louis, yeah, she said it's 98. It's everywhere. Everybody catching that getting punched in the jaw, bro.
Catching
that fire.
Hell. It's hell vibes. It's giving hell. The vibes are
I do like heat. I do, but
not this kind of heat.
I love hot weather. I would take hot weather over cold weather.
Well, that's because we grew up in the snow. I don't want the snow.
I can't. My bones can't take it. My bones, because that chill fact. Ooh.
And we were young.
So yeah. And if
so
it's so cold, sometimes
now,
you just stop breathing. You be like, I'm just holding my breath.
Yes.
Take your breath away.
Yes, we were young growing up in the snow. Now, no thank you. I'm good.
I don't want it. Y'all can have it.
Y'all can have it. It's nice to look at, though. And,
I can look on camera at it.
Now, I will say I took my family on a family vacation in the snow in Colorado. That was beautiful.
I bet that was. And that's like a bucket list. Like, I would want to do a little ski resort. I mean, just because of the mountains, just to see the beauty of the mountains and stuff and like that. But I ain't going to stay too long. I ain't going to hold it too long.
We stayed for about a week. It was gorgeous. And we had a blast. The kids went sledding
and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it is fun. I remember I had a ball as a kid growing up.
I did.
That ain't cost no money to do.
No, that was free. But
tobogganing, oh my goodness, we had a ball.
Yeah, but to grow up in it and live it every day, because I would look out my window and be like, please, when I walk out, please let there be no more snow. And I'd open my window and just be pissed. But
I used to come out to I only been in Houston for 8 years, almost in July will be 8 years. So I was in my adult life, just coming out to my car, the whole car froze.
Yeah, I didn't experience that. I left.
Whole car froze.
Nebraska when I was 17. Thank you, Jesus. Amen. I got up out of there because no. Sis, let's hop into this news you can use.
Let's go. Let's talk about it.
All right.
Let's talk about the old
man with the dead hand.
That Nixon.
The man with the dead
boy. Hand. Ooh, he was hotter than fish grease.
Oh, he was upset. He's dropping F-bombs and everything.
Fish grease. Using all type of curse words on the national TV, and they let it roll too. I said, ooh, I love that. We petty. The news is being petty this morning. That morning. They let it roll through, and he dropping F-bombs, and he mad because he told them to cease fire. See, this is the part I don't get about people who idolize this demon. Like, why? What are you missing? What are you missing? He is a diva. He is a TV talk show host president. What are you missing?
What are you missing in your life that you accept this?
He's doing this for clicks and views, as they say. He's an actor. He's a bad actor, but he's an actor. He's putting on a whole clinic, as they say in basketball. He's putting on a whole show. He wants the attention because this was about him getting the Nobel Peace Prize, right?
Yeah.
And
you're not gonna get it from me.
They messing him up because they ain't cease fire. Because next thing you know, he claimed, he just blurted out like he had Tourette syndrome. And sorry to those who do have Tourette, but he don't have it. He just stupid. He yells out, "Ceasefire! We cease fire!" I don't know if he looked in the mirror that morning, woke up, said, "We ceasing fire." He ain't had no communication with nobody. And that's what he did. And he came on TV, or he went on his Twitter and his Truth, his live social, and told everybody without telling the people who really got a ceasefire, right?
In Iran and Israel said, who said that?
What happened?
Who said that?
Confusion.
Who said we gonna
Confusion.
ceasefire? Confusion. I didn't say, baby, did you say you gonna stop throwing them at me? Because if you gonna stop, I'll stop. But I ain't gonna stop if you don't stop.
And that's where the confusion
and Bibi
came
said,
in,
I ain't said
right?
nothing like that.
Right.
So he just lied.
So he lied, y'all.
My thing is, why lie when the other countries are gonna come back and say, no, we didn't say that.
He don't think that far ahead.
He's mad at Bibi. Mad at Bibi. Talking about, Israel, I'm mad at them too. Well, I'm quite sure they don't care about you being mad at them. Frumpy?
Don't nobody care. Nobody care. You could be mad. They don't care.
Frumpy, you're not getting a Nobel Peace Prize.
Maybe
you can get you should mind your business type prize. Maybe you shouldn't be a convicted felon type prize. Is there a prize for that?
Go get you an apple pie. Go get you one from McDonald's, your favorite place. Go get you an apple pie.
I'm gonna
be your prize.
No, go get him a whites only pie.
Yeah, go get
that'll
one
fit
of
him
those.
a whole lot better. Go find your whites only pie.
Enjoy that pie.
And go sit down somewhere because
because you ain't getting that.
You're not getting a no.
So, yeah.
How can you get a Nobel Peace Prize when you deporting people? Dude, no.
You're not a peaceful person. You have brought nothing but hostility to the American people, to the United States people. I'm gonna start saying the United States people. You've brought nothing but hostility, doubt, fear.
He wants the Nobel Peace Prize. They give it to good people, not people who decide to catch 34 felonies and then deport people. And
that's the problem. He ain't never been told.
No.
He ain't never did the right thing. So he think he can buy his way into getting the Nobel, like to feel good about something he's doing when he's an awful human. So yeah, it's not going to work, Trump. So let it go.
No,
let it go.
No one's ever actually, we have a saying in this house, it's belt to behind. And no one's ever put that belt to his behind. And that's why he acts the way that he acts. But I don't care how he acts. The answer is no. No is a complete sentence, Frumpy. Frumpy.
That's right. He was mad, Miss Jack, that nobody went along with his lie. Like he thought, even though he ain't tell them, they supposed to just lie, because that's what he do.
And the saddest part about it is some of them will lie for him, knowing it's a lie. That's the craziest part about
Speaker of the House got up on that national television and lied.
He's a bootlicker. He's not. He doesn't even know the truth. He can't even live in his own truth. So how can
Caroline? She lied.
Caroline is always gonna lie.
She's
that even her name?
What is she? The media.
She's a liar.
She lies to the media. She does his public lying for him.
Yeah, she's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed liar. Greg Abbott, Hot Wheels.
Roll to the front.
Come on. I don't even want you to roll to the front. I want you to walk to the front. Walk to the front.
Patty.
I am so upset with you because you decided to eliminate the $60 million provision to feed underprivileged children during the summer program.
Oh, while California is rolling out their summer program, he cutting. So it's gonna be some hungry children in Houston.
I thought they cared about kids.
Liars. They don't care about them kids. You know the saying, them kids.
Them kids. You want everybody to have a gang of children
But you don't want to feed them.
But you don't want to feed them. How make that make sense? How does that even work? First of all, you won't raise minimum wage. So people have kids, how are they supposed to feed them? You're cutting food stamps, you're cutting Medicaid, you're cutting everything, but you want women to have children. No. And then he did pass the cannabis.
I was just about to say that. I said, so you don't want to feed the kids, but baby, you want to make sure your cannabis is popping. You made sure that
people gonna have the munchies. You
made sure that went through, and I say thank you. But however, you made sure that went through though, Hot Wheels. But you don't want to feed the children.
Hot Wheels, go on and walk to the back. I'm done talking.
Feed them kids.
Walk to the back. No, he's not gonna feed them. You know, it's gonna take us, the community. I'm
gonna steal one of the wheels off your chair.
No, I want him to walk from here on out. Since you
Figure
got
it out.
Time. Since you want kids to starve, I want you to walk. We both aren't getting what we want.
We coming like a thief in the night. Take two of them wheels, baby. You gonna have all time in the morning, sir.
Oh, let's get into our next story. Yeah, he's gonna struggle.
We gonna say, Jesus, take the wheel.
I want him to walk, just like we want our kids.
I told you we gonna build some stairs. We gonna become we gonna go build
carpenters.
Some stairs. We're gonna become architects.
Oh, somebody put stairs everywhere you go. There's a flight of stairs from here on out.
We're going this way, Greg Abbott. We're going this way, up the stairs.
Up the stairs. Let's see you do it. Anywho, and you know what? We are being petty. But
we are being super petty. Just
directed to Greg.
Only
Greg
to him
Abbott.
Because he is a mini Trump demon.
Yes, and he doesn't want to feed kids. So we are directing this just to
only
Greg
towards
Abbott.
him.
And I promise you, if given the opportunity, I will say it to his face.
I will too.
But they will probably grab me by
the collar,
and I have
my media back. But I'm media though. I'm asking a question.
I'm just asking a question. When's the last time you walked? I'm sorry, y'all.
Like, would you like these beautiful flight of stairs?
Okay.
Get some good exercise.
Okay. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to break before Raven pops up and says, okay, that's enough, ladies.
Right. We having fun.
Yes, we are having
Entertainment purposes only, y'all.
Only. And these are just our views. And we're only talking to Abbott because Abbott doesn't want to feed children. Yeah. You don't want to feed children. I hope you
don't feed our babies.
Flight of stairs everywhere you go.
We love our kids.
Absolutely. Now we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 Change. We'll be right back.
And I'd like for you to do one more thing for me. Hold up two fingers. This is you, and this is me, and the space that exists between us should be filled with value.
Equal, a global human initiative, and its value identity model.
Welcome to Morningstar Boutique, where the sun is shining and the style is all about you, your beauty, confidence, and individuality. Whether that's your perfect summer dress, a chic jumpsuit, or outfit you didn't know you needed, we've got you. Stop by ourplugs.com and check us out. We'll see you soon.
www.saysomething.biz, and let's say something together.
Welcome to a world that sparkles. Sparkle Kicks LLC is your one-stop shop for a wide variety of customized items. So bling out your Crocs, customize that cutting board, get you custom dominoes. Stop by and we will customize your order today. We can be found on Etsy and Our Plugs LLC. I'll be waiting to customize your order. All you need to do is place it.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We are just having fun today. You know, sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. And this story I'm about to bring up is about DeSantis, Death Santis. That would be a better name for him. He got the approval to receive federal funding to build this alligator Alcatraz. They're so childish. These people are so unserious. This is the most unserious government I have ever seen in my life. You're gonna put some alligators.
Why are you playing with alligators? Like they ain't playing with you. They are not playing with you.
So you're
Okay.
gonna go and disrupt the Everglades and go, isn't the Everglades swamp? How are you gonna build anything out there? Good luck.
I just want him to be at the construction site.
Me too. I want him to be up there
With them lips on.
When they cut the ribbon, I want the ribbon cutting to be to make national world news. I want it to be world news.
And somebody just do a tackle. Remember you talking about that father who was that man who was paying people? He was tackling baby mom or baby daddies. We're gonna find him. Like just go tackle him.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want any harm to come to him. But
I just said tackle him. That's all.
If anything happens, with the alligators, they say that is what is it? It's called act of nature.
No harm, no foul. Just
if something happens, it's an act of nature. There's nothing we can do.
Tackle.
There's nothing that we can do when an alligator attacks.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, that alligator was hungry, so
So whatever happens, just happens.
Yeah.
My last story is about James Harden. James, what is you doing? I mean, the allegations. Okay, let's get into the allegations. The allegations is that a young lady was sexually assaulted in his home by his nephew. Now we don't know what's going to come of this. This is just the beginning. Where the story is just now breaking,
and we're reading this as it is because we're not saying it was James that did it because that's not what was said. So I don't want nobody to be misconstruing the story. The story is it was his home. It happened at his home, and it was his nephew. In his home in Houston. This was probably back in 2024, I think.
Yeah, I believe it was 2024, and it's not a good look. Jay.
No, the story was kind of.
But he's named. He is named in the story. He's named in the allegations in the suit. So I don't know what's gonna come of it. I'm not sure, but I just hate that. I hate that any young lady is attacked and anything has happened to a young lady outside of her permission, outside of her will. But it's very disturbing. He's named as a defendant in the lawsuit, and she is suing.
Well, and she's suing because she's saying him and his security team because nobody did anything about the situation. Like, meaning, well, for him, I don't know if he was there. He might have came afterwards, but it was in his house. It was his security team, and the story is as it could have been prevented. Had the security team been doing their security thing,
Well, my thing is, what's the point of having security if everyone isn't secure?
Exactly.
If it's your home and you're having a party, you are liable. If anyone comes to my house,
anybody get hurt,
anyone
get liable.
Hurt. You can file it on my homeowner's insurance. Anything happens in my home, and I have security. Where was the security at? Why did this even happen? So I don't know. This is the very first.
Y'all go look it up and read it. It's a good read. It's definitely, not a good read, but it's detailed of what the story that the young lady told. So
yeah,
I tend to believe her.
Yeah, I believe victims until proven,
otherwise.
I'm a female. And I don't know, it's sad to say, but I don't know any female who hasn't gone through something, if not that, then something similar. So it's sad. It's sad to say, but this is the world we live in. I don't know a single woman But I will say this: this is on the heels of the end of Diddy's trial. So it's a lot of people are saying, oh, they're going after black men. You don't give anybody a reason to come after you, and they can't. If you just don't.
Some things you should just be very tight about. And when you're you're a professional, you're an athlete, you're in this business, you're in this limelight, you need to be tight about who you let in your home, who you got in your home, who this person is in your home. If you know you got a family member that ain't right, you need to be mindful of who is allowed in your home to be around this person, or have this person somebody on watch of this person, because you got to protect your name. You got to protect your brand.
Yeah, you do. It's
period.
About protecting your name, your brand, your livelihood, your freedom, because
our name is a brand.
It is. And the one thing that I'm looking at is, in reading the book, I love this book, Black AF. I've learned so much in the last 2 weeks about how society actually is set up. And if you fall in the traps, you are trapped.
Yep.
And if you are given the opportunity to move forward in a way where you actually, in James Harden's case, you have the opportunity to make millions and be in the spotlight and be in the limelight, but you have to have a responsibility on how you carry yourself and how you move, and others move that are part of you.
That are around you too. You can't just have anybody around you, family or not.
Bad association spoils youthful habits. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's who you associate yourself with. Maybe James, maybe he knows nothing about it, but it was his home.
But it was his house. And
I know what's going on in my home, and his nephew. Yikes. And I don't know what happened.
Cut that check, James. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
Cut the check, trim the beard. Let's move forward.
Do better.
And I hope this young lady gets the help that she needs, because any type of assault like this, you need counseling. Yeah. I don't care who you are, how strong you think you are. For her. You need to go talk to someone, because it is a very difficult thing to get.
It's life changing. It's awful.
It is. It alters your life.
You never forget. You never forget things like that.
And you have an issue trusting people after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's a very scary situation.
Well, before we bring the team up, buffoonery news.
Okay.
It's a little buffoonery news since we're talking about athletes. This is a former athlete. So everybody should know who Antonio Brown is. He's a previous football player. He has had tons of trouble throughout his whole NFL. One day I remember he was took off all his uniform at halftime and decided he was about to go kick it.
I don't know what be wrong.
He has mental illness, and when you don't get treated for these mental illness, this kid definitely has mental illness. But he just has tons of problems. Always he just known in the news. So everybody should know who I'm talking about. Or if you're not, look him up, then you'll see a ton of stuff. Antonio Brown, who is now wanted by the Miami-Dade County authorities on a criminal charge of attempted murder related to a shooting at a celebrity boxing event in May. Says that he left the country on his ex account. Lord, please don't let me laugh. This is a quote from Anthony Brown.
Antonio
Brown. I'm out of the country. Ain't no more child support. Tell your mama, get a job. In the quote.
Forgive me for laughing.
On X. The warrant cannot be executed if Brown remains out of the U.S.
He is never coming back.
The petty. That was so petty.
Tell your mama to get a job. So you don't love your kids either? You don't want to make sure that your children, the people
So
that
you
the
sent
little
that message. Was that a
you
message to
made,
your babies, your kids?
and
You
that's
rotten.
the internet is forever, Antonio. They're
You
gonna
are
read it.
rotten. I know you watching this. You rotten.
Yeah,
You
Antonio, I know
rotten.
you out there.
They gonna get their check. You can stay. You ain't gonna be gone that long. They gonna get their money. Rack it up.
You know, even if they don't get a dime from you, they will get paid. They will be rewarded, but you will suffer because the Bible
You gonna
says
suffer.
that you have to take care of your children. God gives us kids as a gift. You know, our children are a gift for us to take care of and to help them to grow and nurture them so that they can grow up. And when you don't do right by your kids, nothing that you touch will ever prosper.
He act like it was their fault, like they asked to be here. Tell your mama get a job.
Who was it? Who does it say who is trying to unalive?
No, just dude, may you get everything you deserve in life.
Have the day you deserve.
And with that being said, I'll bring the team.
My goodness. My goodness.
I can't deal with him.
He is so unserious.
I ain't dealing with him.
No. Childish.
He childish, he petty.
Childish,
hey y'all.
Petty. Hey y'all.
Hey, DJ Kitty.
We shouldn't have children. I swear.
Hello, Reggie.
I had to
Hello,
bring
Mrs.
it, y'all.
Jack.
I had to give y'all that news. Buffoonery news.
I've been shaking my head for about 2 minutes. Straight.
I mean, because you're not hurting anybody but your kids. You know, we're all adults.
That you made. The kids that he assisted in making. I'm sorry, you assisted in making these churn. So why are you let their mama?
Hey, Nikki.
Hey.
You mad with their mama? Everybody ain't gonna get no money. I'm leaving town too. So y'all
North Carolina.
He didn't just leave town. He left the country because I don't want to pay for Sharon. I paid him, but I don't want to pay for him.
I read it just like he wrote it. Quote, I'm out.
I believe it. I was watching, me and my husband were watching the football game where he took his clothes, his top off and walked off. Like he said, I quit. He ain't played a day since.
Took a halftime. The game, wouldn't he? In
I
the
don't
middle
know.
of everybody watching it. We was like, what in the heck? In the mental health, mental illness.
Yeah, big time.
Big time mental illness, that young man.
You know, and those are actually, you know, on the other side of, you know, and I know we're laughing and joking and, you know, taking shots at him, but, you know, that's the kind of person that you'll hear one day that, you know, he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
So I put everybody on mute because we're getting feedback, but you're right, Reggie. That is definitely the type of person that will, and I hope not. I hope he gets some mental help that he needs. But right now, today's Antonio, do better. Today's discussion with the crew, the team, is about the power of expressing your emotions. So I just ask that we go off and on mute when we're not talking because of the feedback. But I am going to open it up to Shanika, Mrs. Jack, and you go right ahead and start off, Mrs. Jack. What do you have for us this morning?
4 ways that expressing your emotions helps improve the different aspects of your life, I guess. So the first way, it improves mental health. It reduces anxiety and stress. When you suppress emotions, it can lead to increased anxiety and stress. And when you express them, even in healthy ways, it can help release pent up tension. I know when I do my live and I'm doing grief days, I always tell people don't hold it in. You know, sometimes it's for men because men have always been taught to hide their emotions. So a lot of times they don't really express grief the way they need to or have an outlet to express grief. And it's the same thing with emotions as far as crying and things like that. So when you hold it in, it's like a lot of pressure is building up, and you never know when it's going to come out, but it'll just take like that one spark, that one rough day, or that one bad moment, and that person will be the person that gets the brunt of everything that you've been holding in, because you haven't really learned how to express your emotions in a healthy way. So it's going to come out in an unhealthy way, and usually it's at the worst time. It's at a bad time. So that's the first one.
So I agree with that. It's not easy. I see you, Nikki. It's not easy just to express yourself for some people. Sometimes it's difficult because, when you're stressed out, you have to find a way to actually express yourself where people can receive it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you're just being too emotional," or you're always crying, and that's why a lot of people hold it in. You don't want to feel like you're being a burden or you're trauma dumping on someone. Go ahead, Nikki.
I was just going to say also, holding it in can cause physical issues or medical issues as well. Issues with high blood pressure, your heart, and different things like that. So holding it in can also come out in a physical way. If it doesn't come out and you blow up on somebody, it can come out in you having issues with anxiety, high blood pressure, heart issues, high cholesterol, all types of stuff can happen because of the headaches. So, that's another reason why you don't need to hold it in. You need to figure out a way to let it out.
Is that stress related? Because you can get stress headaches too for holding it in, right?
Yeah, I'm quite sure. Go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah, to your point, DJ Kitty, communication is definitely a learned skill. And, with the value identity model that I've created, I think it's just imperative that we begin to value one another again, because the 4 points of validation that we all need is, see me, hear me, feel me, and value me. Right. And so many times we're so dismissive with one another. It's because we haven't been taught how to see one another, how to hear one another. And in that environment, we also lack the ability to express ourselves. And the other point that I'd like to make, and I'll land, is that if you just think about breathing, like the breath that you inhale, okay, what goes into you has to come out. You have to, because if you're holding your breath, what happens? You're not breathing anymore. And that is not a good thing. So it's like whatever happens, whatever whatever traumas you have, whatever pains you have, whatever is going in, again, think about breathing. Breathing is inhale, exhale, inhale, and then that breath has to be expressed. And so it is imperative to our health, that as we navigate the world and as we absorb things, right, those things have to have a place to go. And a lot of times that place is not, inside of you. It has to be let out. And we have to be able to create safe spaces for ourselves and safe spaces for one another so that we can express ourselves and release whatever it is that may be, going on.
I agree with that. Go ahead, Ms. Morningstar.
Yeah, I was gonna just piggyback with what Reggie's saying, like when he just touched on the fact that we have to allow that safe space for our people we love or people we're in close connection with, to allow them that vulnerability to be able to get it out and not hold it in. We have to. It's always a practice. It's a practice behavior where you have to learn to give people their space and let them have the necessary time to just let out how they feel, whether it's in a cry or whether it's just a vent or whatever. Because like Nikki said, like holding it in, it's a silent killer. Stress is a silent killer. People are walking around here stressed and then just fall out because they have an aneurysm or because their blood pressure and excelled so high because they've been stressed and nobody knew about it and they didn't have an outlet. So good points, guys.
Okay, that kind of led to the second one though. It helps you foster stronger relationships and deeper connections. Openly sharing emotions, both positive and negative, creates opportunities for empathy, understanding, and stronger bonds with others. And you can relate that to pretty much every relationship you have, whether it's a friend relationship, romantic relationship, work relationship, acquaintance, whatever. If you openly share your emotions, and I'll just use the romantic relationship, it builds a stronger relationship. You cannot have a relationship where one person is closed off. And I'm just, because I know me, I'm a sharer. I know my husband just be like, whew, you could leave out some stuff. I don't need to know everything, doggone it, you're going to hear it. But he knows I'm not worried about, sharing my emotions, and that both people have to do that. So it makes the other person comfortable with sharing theirs, and it'll just help foster a stronger relationship, romantic wise.
So sometimes, and I hear what you're saying, Ms. Jack, and I agree with you. You should be able to share your emotions, especially with your spouses. But sometimes it may feel like you can't talk to that person. So what would you suggest in those situations where it's a struggle? You may feel like, oh, he's had such a hard day. Things are tough on him. I don't want to burden him with my issues as well.
Well, first, if you're married, you can't see it as a burden. We signed up for you hear me, I hear you. But you can also start with asking him, when is a good time I need to speak with you? Can we just figure out a time? I know you're tired, you just got home, you may want dinner. It may be a conversation. You may have to table for a couple hours until they're ready to receive it. Because the worst thing is trying to talk to somebody when they ain't really listening or not really willing to receive everything, because then you're going to feel like you're half listening, and that's not going to help either. So you could either, give them some time or just ask when is a good time.
Go ahead, Reggie.
I think we all need to be.
Yeah, I think we all
because it don't feel natural.
Yeah, this is a hot topic.
Yeah, go ahead, Reggie.
Yeah, I think also too that we have to be aware of what the ability and or the capacity is of our significant others to manage what it is that we're bringing to them. You can't expect a cat to bark, and so in creating a safe place and a safe space for yourself, it may include creating safe spaces. More than one person. That person may not be your husband. It may be your sister. It may be your friend. It may be your aunt, but essentially identifying people that you can go to, that they care about you genuinely. And, they're going to listen with an open mind and an open heart and give you, the response that you need to hear. Maybe that may be times where you don't, things that you're not interested in hearing that don't feel good. And the last thing that I'd like to say, and I'll land, is that, again, in the context, in the space of valuing one another, we have to stop awfulizing. That's a word that I've created. We have to stop awfulizing one another. Oh, you're too emotional. Oh, you're just, you're always always making whatever it is that I'm trying to express to you an awful thing. Let's not do that to one another. Let's create the space where it feels safe and the person knows it's okay to talk, because that's when, people hold things in, and that's like holding your breath. That's not going to turn out well.
I agree with that. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but while we're on break, I want everyone to think about this. If I can't talk to you, then who can I talk to? And if I'm your spouse, you should want me to talk to you. We'll be right back. You're listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7, The Change. Opame Simplistic Beauty is hair care and skincare in a bottle. Take a quick survey and let us design your own formula. Go to ourplugs.com, look for Opame Simplistic Beauty, and we can get your formula out to you as soon as possible. We hope to hear from you soon. Have a great day.
Hey guys, yes, this is my nonprofit, Carter's Caring Hands. And what my nonprofit does, we give fresh food boxes to those families in need that's struggling to keep food on their tables. We also go out into the unhoused community, give out care bags here in the Kalamazoo, Michigan area. So if you'd like to donate to the cause, please go to www.carterscaringhands.com and donate whatever you can, so we together can uplift those families that's struggling to keep food on their tables. Highly appreciated. God bless.
Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Middleton, life and executive leadership coach and owner of Radiate Coaching and Development, where we provide transformational strength-based coaching and mentorship. My goal specifically is to support you in identifying your mission, your vision, and your values that help you take your power back as you are building your career. Whether it's within or outside of the corporate world, my goal is to really empower you in making decisions that work well for you. So if you want to reach out to me, by all means, you can email me at radiate@midspiration.com or check out my website at radiatecoaching.com.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection. This morning, we're talking about the power of expressing your emotions. We've got some awesome panelists on the panel today, and they are sharing their ideas, their words of wisdom, and their knowledge. So let's tune back in. So what did you guys think about the question? If I can't talk to you, then who can I talk to? Especially if you're married, and not even if you're married, you know, if you're dating someone, you would want, in my opinion, you would want to be able to go to your spouse. But go ahead, Miss Morningstar.
Nikki, you go ahead. You go ahead to me.
Oh, okay.
I know you was waiting.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay. So for me, like sometimes too, we got to understand that everybody's not going to be available all the time. You could have 5 people or 6 people on your list that you know you can call and talk to, but maybe it's during work hours or maybe it's in the middle of the night. You know, and then there's some people who don't have anybody. So another thing you can do is journal, right? You can just grab a notebook and just write down whatever is in your head to get those emotions out. And then if you do have somebody, maybe later you can go back and talk about it after you've come down from everything and kind of work through whatever's going on. But sometimes when you don't have anybody readily available, just journaling and jotting everything down, there's no right way to do it, you know, and just jot it down and close the book, you know, and get it off of you for the moment.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
And sometimes, you know, when it comes to like what your question was about, you should be able to go to your spouse, as you should be able to have that communication. But there are boundaries because we're human. Everybody has a boundary. Like some things, it may not be in timing. It may not be the time to talk about it to your spouse, or maybe they don't want to talk about it at the time, or maybe maybe they don't feel so comfortable sometimes talking to you. Maybe you have done some things or reacted in a way not knowingly, or, you know, that made them feel like, okay, you're going to judge me, or you're going to do this. I don't even want to talk about it because I don't want you to look at me and think I'm crazy. You know, we have to kind of, that's why I say you have to revisit and be mindful of yourself as well. You
Absolutely.
really do. You have to be. I mean, and I know we all have done it because nobody is perfect.
Yeah,
perfect Patty out here that we've been judgmental. We have.
It's the truth.
I mean, even with your spouse, even with your kids, even with your parents, your sisters, your brothers, we have passed judgment when they have talked to us about things, because you'll be like, oh, you overreacting. As Reggie was saying, all that what you call it, Reggie?
Awfulizing.
Awfulizing. You always complain.
Right.
You always saying this.
Right.
We have to be mindful of what we're saying, because I have to do it myself constantly. I have to try to think to myself and catch myself sometimes being critical or over analyzing stuff, instead
Exactly.
of just pulling back and just letting people have their space.
Yeah.
Even if it's your husband or your wife,
Yeah,
or your boyfriend or girlfriend, or your other significant other, got to be able to give people their space.
absolutely. I agree with that.
That's wonderful. That's a great point. You have to be ready for what people are going to give you back, but it stops people from being that person you can talk to if everything. I have a reaction to everything you tell me, and it's a negative reaction. Now you don't want to tell me.
Exactly.
You done cross me off the list. Well, I know I can't talk to her because she has this bad reaction or facial expressions, because I can't have my expressions for nothing. But you're right. That is true. Great point.
I'm the queen of facial expressions.
It's a Capricorn trait.
That's why we couldn't sit together in church.
No.
All right, number 3. Expressing your emotions, it improves communication. So when we can articulate our feelings, we could communicate more effectively with others, leading to better understanding and fewer misunderstandings. For an example, I am mad because I expressed my emotions and told you I'm mad, so now I can tell you why, and that's going to open up the conversation. Or you hurt my feelings by doing this. When you tell people that part of something, it's telling them that, hey, what you did caused this emotion. I'm expressing this emotion to you so we can fix it. Because a lot of people have this, not a lot of people, some people have a deflection method, I could tell you hurt my feelings. Well, I didn't mean to, or I didn't hurt your feelings. They'll tell you the opposite of what you told them just happened. So now it feels like you're not validating my emotions and my feelings when I'm trying to have a good conversation with you, and I'm starting it off by telling you, hey, you made me mad, or what you did hurt my feelings, or something like that. So when you can have a conversation and start out with expressing your emotions, it helps you understand that you can tell it to somebody else. It helps the other person hear it. So now you can have a more effective conversation.
I totally agree with that, expressing your emotions. And sometimes I find myself in the position where I just don't want to talk then, but I have to pull myself out of that, because how can anyone know that I'm going through it if I don't tell you? I'm not people, and sometimes we tell people, oh, well, you should know. People can't read your mind, and a closed mouth don't get fed. If you're going through it, open your mouth and say that, plain and simple. Go ahead, Reggie.
No, that's so absolutely true. And, the other thing, well, 2 things is that, there's so many of us that are so accustomed to being the provider, right? Being the one who takes care of everyone else. We have to allow, because you can get into a program, right? So accustomed to taking care of everyone else that you, like to your point, DJ Kitty, it's like you're not even allowing others to take care of you because you're just so used to being the one who has all the answers and fixing everything. Well, guess what? We all need the same things that we give to other people. Like I need the same things from you that you need from me. And the last thing that I'd like to say, and just kind of going back to my point, is that I think it's important, because we all have limited capacity. None of us know everything and have all of the answers and all of the abilities. And even in talking to our spouses or significant others, I think it's important to identify just what their strengths are, because there may be an area that they may not be that great and they may not be able to offer you what it is that you need specifically. So if they're limited in that area, again, have others just kind of in your immediate circle, 2 or 3 people that, and kind of identify, okay, well, I can, go to my husband about this, but I can go to my auntie about this because she's really good at this in this area. Don't put everything on one person because we all have limited capacity.
I think you also too have to be mindful about, and you got to teach people for one thing, you got to teach people how to help you, right? If I know that when I get into a certain type of emotions, or I get into an angry place, or I have to teach people what I need them to do for me. So this is stuff that you're practicing all the time, even when you're not in that space. So these people know, oh, okay, she's really upset right now. She needs me to leave her alone for 5 minutes. Then I'll come back and we can talk, and letting them know, hey, I just need a minute, but then we can talk. So you're not just walking away from people and people don't understand what's happening. You know what I mean? So you have to teach people what you need from them to get fulfilled again, to get, those emotions out. And also, we also have to be mindful about when we're in those situations, our perceptions of what the other person is, how they're feeling. We can't just decide, oh, they think I'm this or they think I'm that. They think I'm a bad person. If I tell them this, they're going to think, that, I'm not this God-fearing woman that I always claim to be. They're going to think the worst of me. Is that what they're going to think, or is that what you decided they're going to think? So you got to be careful about that too when you're in your emotions and someone's trying to help you, or you're talking to someone, deciding that this is how they feel. And so, I'm not going to talk to them anymore because when I talked to them last time, this is how they were looking at me. Well, they might have just really just been listening. So we got to be mindful about that as well. Am I looking at this right? Did he really treat me like that? Or did my husband or wife really, kind of brush me off? Or was that just how I was feeling? So I decided that's what happened. Because that happens a lot too.
So true. So true.
That's a good point. And you're making me think of myself. Okay, I'm about to sit here and tell on myself because honestly, we having an open, honest discussion. We can all tell something about ourselves that we see that we do. I come to conclusions. Oh, you mad at me? And
that's me.
My spouse
right.
does that.
Right.
He does not like that. He does not like that I say, oh, you mad at me? He was like, well, who told you that?
Exactly.
It's us because we have this perception because I'm being who I am. Maybe I'm doing too much, but maybe you are doing too much because you told yourself you was doing too much. Now you want to assume somebody mad at you.
Exactly.
So that's why I said we gotta learn. So true. And I'm a learning in progress. I don't care how long I've been married. I'm a learn in progress. It takes forever, I feel, to be a better you. So yeah.
I think it's going to take forever, and it doesn't matter how long you've been married. My parents were married for 50 years, and I would always ask my mom, how do you deal with daddy? And she would be like, girl, I do every single day is something new. I'm learning from him. People teach you, especially when you've been together for so long. You can't expect it all to be the same all the time. It's not going to be. If you expect that, you're in for disappointment. It is not going to happen like that. You learn each other because as we grow and get older, our bodies, our mindsets, our wants and our dreams change as we get older. So we're learning each other. And I learned my husband and he's learning me, and we've been together for forever. But like you said, it doesn't really matter how long. You're going to continue to go through the motions, and I just thank God he still wakes up next to me every day.
That's right. Kitty, I'm gonna say this, and to feed off your point, if that was the best advice I have gotten from anybody prior to my marriage, it was my mom's one of my mother's best friends. She passed away, but she was the one lady who catered our wedding, and her word of advice to me and my husband was, you gonna always every day wake up learning something new about each other. It does not stop. And she was 25 years in marriage.
Yeah.
If you're not learning, you're not living.
Yes. Exactly. It's gonna be something new.
If you're not learning, you're not living. Mm-hmm.
That is true.
I like it that way though. You don't want to have the same status quo. That's just like us. Look at this panel.
It's a win and a lose, but
yeah. Well, some things I don't want to learn, but I'm gonna learn it anyway. Learn it anyway, but that's part of the journey.
It's part of the progress. It's part of the process.
Right. And just like the communication part, we gotta be able to, like I think Nikki was saying, different people are going to react different way to different information as well. When I talk to my brother, like I had to get him out of the mode with, he felt because I was his sister, I was supposed to know certain things. And I think one of y'all said that, like, I can't read your mind. And then certain information he can handle, certain information he won't have a conversation with you about. So you do have to pick and choose who you can say certain things to and tell certain information to. But get you a strong group of people for each issue, I guess. But yeah, not the same over here. I learned something new about Mr. Jack, and it's just like,
okay. You know, the one thing that I love the most about growing and learning about myself, because if there's anybody else on this planet that you really need to understand, it's yourself first. And once I love to learn new things about me, because you're never too old to learn. And as we grow and we go through this thing called life, we find out new things that we can handle, new things that we can't handle. Maybe there's some things back when I could handle it when I was 20, but I don't want to handle it when I'm in my 50s, you know? But along the way, I'm learning, number one, to love myself, you know? And that's the most important. Hello, Summer. I'm learning to love myself. If I can't love me, I can't love my husband. If I can't love me, I'm not going to be good to my children and my grandchildren.
absolutely.
I'm not going to be good at work. I have to learn how to make sure that I'm okay. And I think we all came to the conclusion that we're so busy taking care of everyone else that we have over the years put ourselves last. We really have, especially mothers. You know, not to take away from the fathers, but especially if you're a mom, I eat last. I make sure everybody else's plates are fixed, and I eat last.
And I think over the years, that's what develops that sense of, I got to take care of everybody, you know. And when somebody is going through an emotional situation that they want to be able to express it to you, you want to jump in, or I'm going to just speak for myself. I want to jump in and be like, okay, so what's wrong? How are we going to solve the problem? We need this, that, and this. You know, I want to come up with a plan. But everything doesn't require a plan that moment. Sometimes people just need you to be quiet, listen, maybe not respond that day. Maybe
Right.
wait to the next day and then respond. Say, I heard you. I listened to you. And if you want to continue to talk about it, I'm here. You know, just things like that. I've learned that about myself, you know, but I'm just saying it is definitely something you have to work towards.
That's
Yeah, those are some great
that I learned
points.
about myself too. I'm a fixer. I want things to have a solution. Because I think the military did that to me. I'm not prone to waiting and letting things play out. I am more of a, okay, this is the problem. Okay, these are my scenarios to fix it. So this is what we need to do. And you need, I had to learn not to do that, to stop doing that with certain situations. So that was something I had to fix on myself. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, I'm like that as well. I'm a therapist, so everybody in my family, friends, I'm not talking to you for you to therapize me. I just wanted you to listen. You know, I didn't say anything.
It's hard to
I didn't say
right?
anything yet. Like, I don't need you to therapize me. You know, I just wanted to. I'm like, dang. So a lot of times I have to check how I handle situations, and during, after, whatever, the interaction, how, did they feel like I therapized them, or was I really being a friend or auntie or, a mom? Like, I have to check that too, because it's hard to turn that off, the way you think and how you handle things. So that's true. I'm always checking in with myself to make sure that I'm being somebody's true friend and taking my therapist hat off. So
right.
They would call me and warn me at the beginning of the conversation and be like,
right.
Look, I just want you to listen.
Yeah, don't
like,
therapize me.
So we got authorized, we got therapized, and stigmatized.
What is it, Nikki? Therapized.
Therapized.
I like that. Therapized.
Authorized, therapized, and stigmatized.
You are Auntie Nikki, not therapist Nikki,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And that's a good.
But that means they trust you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I said that's a good practice to say, okay, just listen. And
Right.
done talking.
They know me.
Just, don't interrupt. Let me finish talking. Let me get it out first before you jump in. Let me finish first, because, But go ahead, Reggie. Go ahead.
There's one other thing I'd like to interject is that the other thing that I think that it's important for us to kind of recognize is that control is a survival response, right? So you fixing stuff is kind of like, okay, it's kind of your ability to achieve peace and whatever it is that your goal is, tranquility, you making sure that the person that you love is not in pain or they're not hurting, they're not struggling anymore. But the thing that I've come to learn in my life is that there are two hows. Okay, there is your how, and then there's the universe's how. Yeah. Okay, there's God's how. And a lot of times our how is not the how that happens. You can put a seed in the ground, right? And your goal is for it to produce fruit. But how it grows is completely out of your control.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times, although we desire to fix stuff, sometimes the how that it gets fixed is not within our control. And to your point, Miss Morningstar, sometimes it's just listening and just saying, listen, I heard you. And what is it how can I support you? Or what is it that you need? And maybe that may mean that you're a part of the process, or that may mean that you're not. So we have to be willing to accept the how of how things happen naturally, to achieve whatever the destiny of that outcome is supposed to be.
So there's one thing that I wanted to mention, because I agree with you 1,000%, Reggie, but I also want to point out that we also can't have people become codependent on us.
Mm-hmm.
We have to put some boundaries in place so that they don't continuously come for me to fix your problem.
Right.
There's people in my life that I had to sit down and say, look, if you've put yourself in the situation, you can't run to mom. You can't run to auntie and say, auntie, you fix it. And then, auntie steps up or mom steps up and I fix it. And then months down the road, here we are again.
Right.
I don't want to put myself in a position where I need you to be independent. I can show you how and which ways to go, but I don't want you to come back and put yourself in a situation and rely on me to fix it. I'm busy fixing me. I can't fix it for everyone else.
Right, because if you're continually fixing it, because if you're continually fixing it, then they're not developing any skills.
Right.
And
that can go the other way too. That can come back to bite you, right? Because I know with me as a therapist, I don't tell people what to do. I help you come to the conclusion of what's best for you. But if you are fixing stuff for people, they can say, well, you told me to do that. Now look at my life. It's all messed up. And
exactly.
I was fine on my own, but you said, you should do A, B, and C. And I listened to you. I'm not talking to you about that no more, so it can also go the other way because people want to blame somebody.
So true.
That you got yourself into that situation. You
That's
told me to do this.
That's why I tell people, don't try to give married people advice or relationship advice. That is not your advice.
Oh, that's so true.
Tell them it's going to backfire. They're going to be mad with you.
Right.
I try to speak off of my own personal experience and my own experience because everybody is going to have different experiences. Absolutely. I know what I see. I don't try to, well, this is what you should do, or this is how it should go, because it just may not go that way for everybody.
Exactly.
So
but
I different people, my own experience,
different situations. Right.
I have a question for Nikki. When you say you help them come to that conclusion, can you give us some just a couple tips, maybe one or two tips on how can you get people to come to their own conclusions versus coming to you saying, this is my problem, what should I do?
Right. So it's kind of like all about like active listening, right? So you're listening to this person, you're listening to these different points they're making about whatever their situation is.
I think Nikki may have gotten a call. Man, I hate when that happens.
Until she comes back. I'll give y'all the last one then.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So the last one is it promotes self-awareness. Accepting and expressing all emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, can lead to greater self-acceptance and self-compassion. For example, saying things like, I am overwhelmed, I am stressed out, I am depressed, is something that you are noticing and validating of yourself. So it gives you more self-awareness. That way you can then go to therapy. Just like rehab, you have to accept that you are addicted to drugs or alcohol. Is like one of the first steps, but you won't get there until you admit that you have a problem. So a self-awareness is being able to, realize, I am stressed out. Something else needs to happen. And other people help you, because trying to talk to somebody that can't admit that they have an issue or is in denial, it's not going to go anywhere. You're basically going to be talking to yourself, because how do you fix the issue if you can't be self-aware and figure out, like when you go in a room and you have on the wrong attire, you have to be aware of yourself first to say, hey, I know not to wear white to a wedding.
Right.
Things, but it just opens up more self-awareness. That's the last one.
I agree with that, self-awareness. And I think that hopefully Nikki can come back, but I think that was what she was going for, active listening and that's what's most important. Some people just need someone to talk to and just to listen. And I'm gonna say this, today was a tough day for me. Today was a tough day. And I'm going to put this out here. I know I've got family and friends and coworkers that are listening. If you find yourself in a situation where you're unhappy for whatever reason, whatever's going on with you, don't give up. Please don't. You're needed. You are wanted. You are valuable.
Yes.
And if you feel that there is nobody that you can talk to, text or call 988 and talk to somebody. Please don't give up. There are people out here that you will leave behind who will always wonder, what could I have done?
Right. That's so true.
How did I miss this? What could I have done to help this person not choose this?
So true.
Yeah. And there's going to be days like this that we all, unfortunately, will find ourselves facing. And I pray that you have the strength and you have the strength and the backing, and you hold on to the people that are close to you, because we need each other. We really do. Any last words? We've got a few minutes left. Nikki, I'm glad that you could join us again. I heard active listening. Did you want to finish your statement?
And just offering up other ways to look at the situation, right? So you're not telling them what to do, but you're saying, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you looked at it from this point of view? Have you looked at it from that person's point of view that you may be venting about, or whatever you're venting about? So offering them other ways to look at the situation. And that can also help you come up with, some other alternate ways to handle it. You're coming down out of those emotions because you're talking through it. You're looking at different ways. And so that helps people to come up with a better conclusion or a different conclusion on their own.
Thank you so much. That's informative information. I want to thank all of you guys for showing up today. The power of expressing your emotions is so important. Any last words? Let's start with Reggie.
Expression is the language of the universe. And so it is important to express yourself. Just find some safe places and some safe spaces where you can. And to DJ Kitty's point, remember that you are valuable, you are needed, and you are loved.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Nikki.
I think I would just say, give yourself and other people grace, right? Nobody's perfect. Someone you call might be having a bad day just like you are. And so don't just count people out because of that one bad conversation. Give yourself grace and give other people grace as well.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nikki. Mrs. Jack?
I would say teach your kids and allow your kids to show their emotions when they're young, so that as they're growing older, they have learned that before they turn into an adult, and it's easier to focus and express your emotions when you're older.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mrs. Jack and Mrs. Morningstar.
Listen to people when they tell you about yourself. Take criticism, constructive criticism. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, maybe I am doing some of these things or doing some things that may, may make my other person not want to speak to me. So just think about yourself. Y'all have a great morning. Thank you, chat. We see you. We love you. Have a good one. We'll see y'all Thursday.
Thank you all. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a special guest. We'll have an author, our first time having a book author on the show. So please tune in. Have a wonderful day and love each other, please.
Priscilla said unless they hate her.
And Miss Morningstar. We are here from Our Plugs, the Community Connection, and we will be your new morning host on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Yes, we will be broadcasting Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll also be streaming on YouTube at Our Plugs LLC. Be sure to tune in.